So Mary, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for showing us around your garden this morning. It's been absolutely fascinating. First thing that sort of strikes me is when you take on a garden like this, I mean the house has been here nearly 200 years now, hasn't it?
Yes.
And you take on the garden that's obviously got all that history. Where do you start making it your own? And where did you start?
I think when you're working in the garden, it's a lot easier than actually perhaps visiting someone else's garden and doing some work in there. If it's your own garden, different parts of the garden tell you different things. For instance, up here, I looked around and you get different light angles wherever you are, and I think it just somehow, when you're doing something, it just comes to you. But I'm very fortunate that I can just come out any time of the day and just sort of work and do things in it.
Yes. Now you've got about 8 acres, I think you said, here in total.
Yes.
Now we're up by the old tennis pavilion, and we've got the old tennis court here, which you very cleverly sort of turned into a gravel garden. Now you said effectively there's no soil there, is there?
No. It was an entrecart type tennis court, which before I was married we used to come up here and play, so I remember it very well. It has lots of sentiment, and it is quite difficult because when you have to plant anything you take a pickaxe and you dig down, and of course you have problems with drainage as well, because then it fills up.
Yes.
But no, it's a challenge.
But one thing that has liked it, of course, are all the field poppies here that
Yes.
we've just missed, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I can see they obviously quite enjoy the thin, poor soil.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
And the different sorts. Not just one sort of poppy. We just look for different colours, different sorts.
Yes.
But as I said, they don't die nicely. So after a while, they do look a bit messy.
So you arrived, what, about, was it 20 years ago?
20 odd years.
20
yes,
odd years
yes,
ago.
Yes.
What was the first thing you wanted to make a change to?
I think I just wanted more colour and more variation in the garden. We have lovely trees, and there were some shrubs, but really not a lot of herbaceous or things that happen. The spring flowers, the summer flowers, autumn. I wanted to embrace the seasons.
Yes.
I think really. So that's why I just like lots of, probably not very well designed, but lots of things happening at different times.
Yes, yeah. Now I particularly like the lower area where you've got lots of wildflowers. You've left the grass long down there, haven't you? You've got a lot of oxeye daisies coming up at the moment.
Yes.
Was that seeded, or was that just come out of the existing grass?
That's just come out of the existing grass. For many years we followed on the routine of cutting it very regularly, and we just had grass, full stop. And then I think possibly we might have missed a little bit or something, and we said, oh, that looks pretty. There's, a little clump of daisies. And over the years we've left them, and yes, they've developed.
So those areas have got larger and larger.
They have, yes.
Yeah.
I know it's fairly topical now to have these sort of areas with mown paths, but we've been doing it for a few years.
Yes,
so,
yeah. Now you're not far from us in the Cotswolds. Now we struggled on the whole to grow things like rhododendrons. You've got some rhododendrons here, but you've had a few problems with them, haven't you?
We have had problems. I think we're very borderline for the soil for rhododendrons. We have just locally we have Lydney Park, which has beautiful rhododendrons, but we are, I think, because we're borderline, they're perhaps not most healthy at all times. But yes, we are having problems at the moment, and I've been told that camellias and magnolias probably will suit better. I'm not sure what they're suffering with. It could be, as I said, honey fungus, or it could be there are certain other diseases around. But I think we are losing quite a few, which is sad.
So you're slowly replacing them with camellias?
I am replacing, yes.
Yeah.
Camellias and magnolias. I've got some quite young magnolias coming on, yes.
And I saw the stunning cornice you have. You've got several cornice couzas around.
Yes.
You've got a lovely pink one down the bottom that's absolutely at its peak. There's a white one that's just going over, isn't there?
Yes.
Those were absolutely stunning. So it's an amazing spot with these tall trees all around, and then you've got your garden within. You've got a lovely selection of roses as well, I noticed.
Yes.
Have you built that over the years, or
yes,
did you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. They weren't already here.
No, they weren't here. No. The only ones that were here were the Royal William, which are the red ones over there, and they were given to my aunt by the people that worked for her here. So I've always kept the red ones over there. They're called Royal William.
Yes.
But apart from that, there were no roses, and I just love roses.
What was the rose that you were inspired to get hold of after a visit to New Zealand?
Eden Rose.
Eden Rose.
I know I think over there it was called a different name, but when I looked it up and I researched into it, over here it's the Eden Rose.
Yes.
And it's a greeny outside with a pink inside.
Yes.
And yeah, it is a particularly nice one.
I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah,
I thought that was a lovely rose.
It
really was.
Very nice.
Yes. And in terms of late season colour, I mean, you said you try and cover all the year, but
yes.
late season colour, I see there was quite a lot of things coming on that will give us colour then.
Yes.
Have you got asters here and phlox?
We do, yes, yes. And going back to the corners, of course, the trees have beautiful colour as well. Yes. But yes, I have a couple of beds actually, and I do try and sort of, get that late colour with even things like helenums and things for autumn. But asters in particular, I love. I love the mauvey soft shades. That's good.
Yes. Now I saw your amazing greenhouse. Which I don't know how old it is, but it's heated with an old sort of system, isn't it? Old water system,
yes.
Powered by oil.
Yes.
And you obviously produce a lot of plants in there, because I've seen outside you've got a lot of young plants coming on. It's almost like your nursery area. So do you plant out a lot of sort of bedding plants or cosmos, annuals and things like that each year?
Yes, I do. Yes. I like to fill the gaps that after the spring flowers have gone, and that's why you'll probably see there are a few gaps around the moment. But I grow a lot of things like cosmos and tithonias and all different sort of fairly big annuals. Not the little ones, but the big ones. Good gap fillers. Yes, quite right. And it's a bit of a challenge anyway. I tend to get a bit ambitious in spring and go through the seed catalogues and tick them all off, and I don't always get them all done.
I think we all do that. Yes, and then you save them till next year, don't you?
That's right. Yes.
And then order again.
Yes. But I'm very fortunate with my greenhouse. It is old, but very last perhaps 4 or 5 years ago we did sort of do it up, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
You can be in there in the winter with the rain or the snow, and yes, it's lovely.
Yeah, it did look lovely. I must admit, I'm very jealous of your greenhouse. Well, Mary, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I'll let you get back to your garden. I still think it needs every minute you've got spare, so let you get on with that, and it's good luck with this. You've got an open day coming up, haven't you?
We have a sculpture workshop day coming up soon.
Yes.
So, yes. But thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.